So I'm Travis, I'm Karen from the East Central Indiana Small Business Development Center. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. But first I was going to ask, who here is familiar with the Small Business Development Center? Okay, well then I'm glad I'm here, and that I can share. And so, just to start with, I'm not used to working off of a PowerPoint. When I work with clients, I typically don't bog them down in a PowerPoint. But we are an SBA funded, partially funded program in the state of Indiana, and so federal dollars come into the state, and all of the SBA, or all of the, Indiana Small Business Development Center, so the 10 regions that are served by the, and I'll show you a map, that are served, are all working towards this mission of aspiring, or advising and aspiring and current small business owners at no cost. And so that is done through the tax dollars that the SBA on the federal level provides us. But we are required to go out and match those dollars, dollar for dollar in the counties that we serve. And so East Central Indiana serves 11 counties, and so whether it's at the county or the city levels, we are out seeking funding for our programming so that we can offer it at no charge to our clients. So with that being said, Jay County is one of 11 counties that we serve over here in East Central Indiana. I actually cover Jay County, Randolph, Delaware, Blackford, and Madison County, and so I spend a lot of time on the road. There are days where I may be over here and I end up over in Madison County. Like just on the way here, I was like, okay, I was in Delaware, crossed through Randolph for a little bit, then I was in Jay, the 67's closed. Apparently, I didn't know that. And there's other days where I will touch all 5 of my counties in a day. So I'm out traveling a lot. That'll be one of the things that I kind of talk about for Jay, because I don't know how much time was spent here previously to me coming. I started 1 year ago in July of 2021, so coming up on that 1 year anniversary with the Small Business Development Center. And then a lot of times we get asked, so questions we get asked is, what is a small business? So we go by the federal guidelines for what a small business is, and so it's 500 employees or less in the state of Indiana. Now, with that being said, I would say the majority, probably 99% of the clients that we serve are sole proprietors and LLCs that are starting that are single member, maybe they may be partnerships, but typically they don't have employees or they have very few employees. So we're not dealing with the 500 employees. We're usually dealing with 1 to 10 employees for the businesses that we serve. We do not serve nonprofits, so that's another question that we often get asked is, I want to start a nonprofit. In that case, we will refer them to someone else that can help them. We don't have the capacity to learn the nonprofit side on top of the for-profit side. They have to be independently owned and operated. They can't be nationally dominant. And they have to be physically located in Indiana or planning to be located in Indiana. So I do have some clients out of Florida that are looking to come into Delaware County. So we do work with them. But they do have to meet with us for their initial session, either in person or via Zoom. So, because a lot of times we want to do like a phone call, and we can't do that until we have seen them face to face, whether it's virtually or in person. So what are some of the services that the East Central Indiana Small Business Development Center offers? Well, the number one thing that we're known for is this up here is our one-on-one business consulting service. And that is confidential and at no cost to those that participate with us. And that's a big deal for us, because so many times we have clients that come into us and they're like, I spent all this money doing this, or I spent all this money doing that, because it's what they Googled and it was the first thing that came up, which was an ad, which is going to get them to pay for something. And a lot of times when they are coming to us, it's because they've Googled something, because their business is in trouble, if they're already operating. And so getting them to us the sooner the better, which is one of the reasons that I am grateful to be able to come in and talk to you guys, because if you know people that have businesses that are struggling or want to start a business but don't know where to start, those are the perfect people to send to us, so that we can help them before they are in hot water. Or, you know, I had a client the other day that was like, I need money in the next 2 weeks, or I have to close my business. Well, if I would have talked to him 6 months ago, maybe that would have been a little more feasible to help him than trying to come up with funding. And we have no funding. So if somebody says, I need grant money, don't send them to me, because I don't have that. But what I can do is help them put together what they would need to apply for a grant. And I don't know how many people know this, but for small businesses that are planning to open, there's not a lot of grant money out there for them. And business is a little different, but starting out, that's a little harder to come by. But occasionally we can work with economic development if they've got a good plan in place, which is something that we do. For the business planning, helping them put together their written plan, helping them do projected financials. I actually really enjoy putting together financials, so if you know anybody that needs help with those types of things, I kind of like that particular part of it. Our strategic planning is a big part of it, so helping them know, like, making their plan for the future. Something that I haven't done here, but is kind of in my workshop that I can do is mission and vision planning. And so I've come to find that a lot of people, they have an idea of what their vision is, but they don't know how to tell other people what their vision is. So doing some work with them all the way from the ideation of their idea, putting together the mission and vision, building their plan around that, building their financials, and then helping them go out to seek funding. We also can do market research, and sometimes market research can get into the hundreds of dollars. So we can do that at no charge. We have several industry reports, demographic reports, and can pull up information on other businesses if they're looking to kind of see competition and those types of things. So being able to provide that. And then something that the state is really pushing, there's a couple of things, but export. So exporting is something that's a big push for the state of Indiana. And so we have programming specific to exporting. And then agriculture is also a big push for Indiana. So we have some manufacturing, exporting, and agriculture are all things that we have specific programming for, where we contract out. So they wouldn't necessarily be working with me on those, because we have experts in those specific fields that they would work with. And then if somebody is looking to buy or sell a business, we have some valuation tools and a third party that we use to help do that type of work, so they can know, are they getting a good deal in the business, and are they selling it for what it's worth? Any questions? Oh, I should probably mention, I'm not really a wait till the end kind of person, so if you have a question, feel free to ask. If it's something that you want to wait till the end to just see if I might answer it next, let me know on that. But any questions on the services that we offer? All right. And then just some additional things that we do. So we do help register small businesses. I just had somebody come in today and met with me, and he was like, I started online to register my business and I got really confused. Is that something you can help me with? Absolutely. We help so many people go through the registration process on NBIZ, which is the state site to register an LLC, and corporations, but also sole proprietors that are going to be taking in tax revenue, so sales tax and stuff. They also need to apply on there so they can get their retail merchant certificate. So we can walk through that. And I'm currently, some of you were in here earlier, I'm currently in grad school. I graduated in 3 weeks. And one of my last assignments is to do a training video on how to use the NBIZ website. So I am kind of excited about that. And that'll be a tool that we'll add that clients can use. So if they don't want to come in and meet with me or another advisor on how to set up their business, they can watch a training video and do it on their own. But I would prefer to came in. We can help with those financial packages and loan packages for banks. And then we do referrals. So if you are interested in being on our referral list, so accountants, attorneys, because I am not an accountant or an attorney, I make sure that I tell all my clients that. If you do any type of marketing or promotion materials, those types of things, and want to be on our referral list, let me know. We do trainings, workshops, and facilitations for groups. So, any questions on any of that? Okay. You guys are making this easy on me. All right, so if you know somebody that might be interested in working with us, it's really fairly simple. We have the website, so East Central Indiana Small Business Development Center. If you Google that, or isbdc.org for the state, and there's just a little button that says work with us. They go to that site, they click on that, and they fill out their information. That'll connect them to the regional office, and they'll automatically be prompted to complete this confidentiality agreement. And it's really their confidentiality that agreement is for, because we do not share unless they tell us that we can. So if you're want to know about some of our clients, we have some that are success stories that are on here, one of which is Busy Dips just across the street. But we have to have permission to share about them because their business ideas and the fact that their clients are confidential. And then they fill out that form. We have to have that initial 30-minute meeting in person or via Zoom. And then from then on, we'll make like a specialized plan on how often we meet with them, what we discuss, and what we're looking for. So with that, that's really all I have to share about like the Small Business Development Center overall for the state. Any questions? All right. So I wanted to specifically kind of talk about what we're doing in Jay County. So one of the things is offering some office hours specifically here so that clients don't, my main office is in Delaware County, but so that they don't have to drive all the way to Delaware County. And so Travis Tabby has been gracious enough to allow me to have some hours here, though I'm not typically in here. I'm typically out and about at their location. So I love to meet clients at their businesses. I love to see what they're doing. And it gives me a better idea of where they're at. And I think they feel like they're in a safer place to talk about what's going on and being able to show me specific things in their businesses. So right now, I'm here 2 days a month. I don't think there's set days yet. I think we kind of fluctuated on when room was available. And I am willing to do as many office hours as I need. I just need to make sure that I have the clients to fill those hours while I'm here. So that's exciting for me to be here and have office hours. So Travis touched on this a little bit. So we came in last year, so right after I was hired, Peggy was like, you're gonna go in and you're gonna teach some of these workshops. And she kind of just handed it off to me. I think originally Peggy, my supervisor, was gonna do those. It was 5 workshops, because I did 4 and Peggy did 1, right?
I think there was a total of 4.
Okay, so maybe I came to 1 that Peggy did and did 3.
Maybe she just oversold what she did.
Maybe. she's not as modest as me. No. But I was kind of thrown to the wolves on that, but that's okay.
But you did great.
And we came in and we talked about doing pitches. We talked about kind of understanding their financials. Trying to think of all
business plans.
Their business plans. Oh yeah, because they did have to have business plans. Mm-hmm. And then we had them do the presentation, a mock presentation. And so we're really excited. We know that we're working together. Everybody knows, okay, to be coming back in 2022 to be represented with that. And I thought it was really interesting when we did that. Travis thanked me and Peggy for coming to the pitch competition. And I was like, we wouldn't have missed it, right? Like we kind of grew with this group because we met them once a week for 4 weeks. And so it was a lot of fun. I also do a startup competition called Startup Weekend Monthly, which is similar, and so pitch competitions are right up my alley. So I'm really excited to be coming back. I think this year it'll just be me. I don't think Peggy will be really involved with it, but so we're excited to be a part of that again, and I think that's a great thing for Jay County to be doing. And then on the 26th of this month, we're going to be doing a Launch Your Own Business here. And so this is kind of our feeder program. So if somebody comes to us and says, I have this business idea, but I haven't really started it, I don't know a lot about it, but I want to know where to get started, this is where they should start. So this is actually being completely revamped, and is going to be starting to use this book that the state of Indiana came out with. But this is kind of a feasibility, so come in, think through all the different things about starting your business, and get them to the point where if this is a feasible business and you're at the point to start a business plan and register your business, then that's kind of the next step. Having a meeting with us, setting up to become a client with us. So we are going to do one of these programs here. We offer these twice a month. And so this is probably the first time we've done it here. But our goal would be to do them quarterly if we had the participants that would want to do it. So, and then we feed those participants into our consulting services.
And that here being like right here?
So right here, but it could potentially be anywhere in Jay County, as long as we have a place that we can work out of. So it doesn't necessarily have to be here. Typically, and we were doing them all online, which is so nice to be back in person. And those, how I kind of run those, which will kind of go into something else I'm gonna talk about, is I work off of the workbook, but really our goal is to get them to become clients of ours from this, and so we may not make it through the whole workbook, because there's such a benefit in allowing the business owners or the people that are thinking about opening businesses to have, communication between each other. And so sometimes it gets completely off topic and they're just talking just about business and business experience and things that have gone well and things that have gone poorly, or questions they have, or, we had one lady that was starting an accounting thing and she ended up getting clients from it. So sometimes there's more of a benefit in creating that cohort or that community than in the materials, because we can get through the materials as in our one-on-one stuff, so. But if there's someplace that you think that it should be, let me know.
Time, what time are we doing?
So this one is
Any other
for,
information out there about them, yeah.
This
Yes.
one's at 4 o'clock.
this one's at 4, they're typically about 2 hours. So, here, I'll pass this around, we have more.
This is a great time to put a plug in. If you, who has Facebook in this room? Okay, we've got a couple honest people. Who has LinkedIn? Okay, we even have a couple more honest people. Check out J Region because, and Tabby, I know you already posted something about this on the chamber Facebook page as well. So we're gonna post information about the presentation tonight, but then also some of the upcoming events that are gonna happen. And we would plan to do those here, but if you drum up 100 entrepreneurs, then we'll move it to the auditorium at the high school or something. I mean, we'll figure it out.
I've got a couple people I think could be interested, but I'm on both of those sites, but I haven't seen that yet.
Okay.
Or it hasn't clicked in my head that thing like that.
Well, and I will say, so don't bring me 100, 25 is about the max, the max capacity. But if you have 100, I will come 4 times.
Right.
Um,
We'll make it work.
And we can talk about different times, so that's one of the things we kind of talked about before, like this one's 4 to 6, but I could do them in the morning, I could do them, originally we talked about maybe even doing them later, so we have some options, we can try some different things and see what works best for the communities that we go into, so feel free, that's gonna be one of my things on here, is like, what can you do for me, and that's, giving suggestions to how we can best serve Jay County, so.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
You have several counties, you're doing them every month somewhere.
Yes.
So if someone from here wanted to attend one in another
Yep.
county, no problem? with
No
that?
problem, no problem at all. And we actually have, so right now, as they're revamping this program at the state level, I'm a part of that revamp because, let me think, Southwest, I think, and East Central were the only two that were doing these programs in 2021 and the beginning of 2022. So we had people from like Central Region and Fort Wayne and coming down to ours because, well, especially attending the online, because when they were online, we had people from New York attending them. Now, it's harder for me I don't know the rules for business in New York like I do in Indiana, but, there was still beneficial information for them, which is one of the reasons I'm glad to be back in person is, we're better able to serve Indiana specifically. But yes, anybody can attend these, and I'm gonna go to this next slide because these, I'm gonna go to this next slide. Because these are some other programs that we offer, so Grow with Google is something we do online, with some, like, we don't do that one, like, I wouldn't do that. We have somebody from Google that does that, and so it's all about the Google business accounts. So how to set them up, how to manage them, talking about SEO, those types of things. So when we schedule with him, we'll post those on our calendar. Anybody can attend those are online. And then the QuickBooks trainings that we have had have been, in Wayne County and Delaware County, but open to anyone that can attend, but that has to be applied for, because we bring in, someone and we only have 25 spots when we do the QuickBooks training. But it is open to anybody that's in our region, as long as they can travel. That one's not offered online. So it's for QuickBooks online, but it's not an online training, if that makes sense. But those are two of our other programs that are kind of offered fairly regularly. the QuickBooks we offered once, and then the state of Indiana stepped in and gave us some funding to continue to offer that because it's been so well received in throughout the state. But there's only one trainer that we bring in for that, so we have to schedule her out a little bit. So what's next? And that's kind of what I would like for you guys to think about while you're here today. So I talked to Travis a little bit about this when I very first came on, and, what we do for the pitch competition is similar to what I would like to do as far as a business builders cohort, and so that's a multi-week in-depth workshop that kind of goes through business planning, financials, those kind of the same types of workshops that we're doing for the pitch competition. But they're cohort based, and my thought is that, I'd like to have something like that set up for next spring, since we'll have kind of a cohort going through in the fall for the pitch competition. Being able to work with some businesses and help them build some business relationships specifically, but thinking through who goes into that type of cohort and, how we work that out. And then something that I have seen from working with some of the small businesses in Jay County is a need for just business support, and not in the sense of like, how do I run my business, but where business owners can come together and talk about, like, these are the things that I'm experiencing, how have you handled them, or is this normal? I met with 2 clients together the other day, and the one is a seasoned business owner and the other one is not, and she was like, is it normal to be this stressed and to feel this way? And the other one is like, yes. but nobody has told this new one that that's okay and that you're gonna feel that way. So trying to find some type of networking where I can bring some people together. I was kind of thinking specifically for this, starting with almost like a women's business group, because it seems like there's a little more emotion in all of that from time to time. But I think a lot of businesses can use support. And one of my big soapboxes when it comes to business is so many people want to be so private about their business, especially when they're thinking of a business idea, like they don't want to share it. And I think we maybe had a little of that in the pitch competition, like because they're in a group and maybe like, oh, but like, you have to have some passion behind what you're doing, right? And if you have a business idea, unless there's passion behind it, most people aren't going to go out and try to steal your business idea. So being able to share about those business ideas and get feedback from others. And right now, my big push with a lot of my clients is go out and talk about your business. You need to find out if people really want this, right? Because a lot of people are like, I want to do this because I love it. That's great. But the customers are the ones that are going to help bring in the revenue for you, so they need to love it too. And then I'm open to suggestions for what you guys think Jay County needs as far as business development and how we can help as a small business development center. So be thinking on that. And then I'll go to this last slide that I have. So I want to just thank you guys for your continued support. So Jay County does help support us financially so that we can offer our services. But even more than that, we got to be a part of the Jay County Small Business Resource Guide, which was awesome. So if somebody goes and looks into starting business in Jay County and pulls up that guide, there's a specific section that talks about the services at the Small Business Development Center. And then we also just ask for your support in continuing to keep us involved in Jay County. So I like knowing what's going on in Jay County, being able to come to some of the events, to kind of be out there, and then caring about our services and sending current and future small business owners our way is a huge help for us. So the state specifically looks at metrics that include how many businesses we're serving, how many jobs we're supporting, how much financial capital we're helping to bring into the community. And so having those numbers and having clients come to us is something that helps us show the state that what we're doing is valuable for the communities that we serve.